Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Marrocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 in the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. So we do something a little different in the show. We have Navy John joining us. It was a private discussion with Peter and John and myself, and it kind of gives you an idea of, when we get together with people, we don't do it all the time, and especially if someone talks privately, we usually keep it that way, unless it's going to help others to understand some of the programs and other things that can happen and help people to become more aware and informed regarding the type of work that we do. So I hope you enjoyed this. Why don't you give them your background, John?
Yeah,
okay.
maybe that will be, let's say, good for us, because let's start from your part and then
Hello.
And then,
I didn't have the video on.
and then I will make my sort of,
Okay.
And just by the way, I think that you ever heard about DevGru, so I was there in DevGru, just by the way.
Okay, in the Army? Is that what you?
Yes, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, in DevGru. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what you want to hear about me. I was in the Navy and during Desert Storm.
Okay.
So 89 to 93, I was in there, and
Okay.
I had told Jessica about some of that. We had a long conversation before about some of the weird things that had happened in my life, and the weird things when I was in the military. But I was worked on helicopters when I was in the Navy. I was stationed in San Diego, North Island,
Okay.
California, and a squadron HSL 33. And we worked on light helicopters. They went out on small ships, destroyer. I was on a destroyer, fast frigate, a cruiser, those 3 ships. But we did a Leo Ops, which was for drugs. I don't know how I got picked on that. That was after Desert Storm.
Yeah, pretty much everybody is just, what in the world I am doing here? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. I got picked somehow.
I know exactly this feeling. Why in the world I am doing what I am doing here? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just weird stuff like that, that ended up on that, and we busted. They wouldn't tell us where we were at, but it was just a short detachment, and we were on the fast frigate, the Reasoner, on that, and it decommissioned shortly after that. The ship did, but anyways, we were on there, and they wouldn't tell us really what was going on, where we were at, or anything like that. It was kind of a secret thing, and we got there was a barge that we busted, I guess. The DEA was on there, and there was, like, if I remember correctly, there was 20 to 22 pallets of cocaine that they had.
Oh man!
Yeah, so our helicopter was picking. I went ahead and volunteered because nobody could be out on the skin of the ship, while this was going on. So I went ahead and volunteered. I wanted to see what was going on. So I was doing the chalk and chain.
Give me a second. Cocaine from where? That's my question.
I don't know. They wouldn't tell us where we were at, but we were probably 2 days out.
Okay. It's blind. We are calling it blind mission. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, it was like 2 days, 2 to 3 days out. I can't remember exactly when we finally.
But give me a second. Do you have approximate idea according to, I don't know, buildings or vegetation, in which kind of, let's say, part of the world you were, or something like that?
Oh, some of us were talking, about like when you go to Hawaii, they got big swells on.
Okay.
Some of us had been out to sea, and it felt like we had some big swells, before we got there. But I think it was fairly smooth when we got there, So I don't know if we went out, and then came in to towards South America, because initially that whole detachment that I was attached to was supposed to go to Guatemala.
Yeah. That was rough times. Oh my God.
Yeah, so
rough times.
I don't know if that's what they were, if we were still doing that, or if the, it was. But that just leads me to believe that it was South America or something, or Central America, something like that. But like I said, it was 2 or 3 days out from San Diego, so I mean, it couldn't have been too far down in there, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
It was an old ship, so it wasn't moving very fast. I mean, it was, I can remember we were on the detachment, and the freaking water started coming in from the hole, and they had an alert. They had an alert. We were sleeping in the berthing, and all of a sudden the red lights are coming on, and these
great feeling, perfect feeling. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and they were shouting, this is not a drill. Why in the fucking world you are just sleeping, you idiots?
Yeah. This old shit. It's just they're stuffing in this. It's the way they do. They're stuffing in this stuff into the hole. Is what they were telling us. And I'm like, wow, that's gonna keep the water out. It was right near our berthing. But.
Yeah, just by the way, you know that I am from Slovakia, and we were one state with Czech Republic, and Czech chemicians, chemical engineers, they were, I don't know if they are still doing it, but for tremendous amounts of money, they were improving the molecules of synthetic drugs. To have better trip and lower, or making the after effect lower, and blah blah blah, all kind of that stuff. And I'm like, oh great, perfect. Now we are the world famous for this shit. Perfect.
Yeah.
I am not proud of that. Oh my God.
Oh no, I totally agree. Some of the weird stuff, I told Jessica about it, but that would take forever to go through all that stuff.
And you know what? Actually, I know you, but you are not John. You are Jonathan in your original name. Immediately. Nah. See, absolutely the same voice. Everything is fine. The tempo of and of speech and everything, but now you are not John, you are Jonathan. Oh my God. I know you guys.
Is that a different timeline or something, or what is it?
Exactly. You nailed it.
Okay. I just recently have learned, about all these timelines and stuff, and Jessica's kind of helped me with some of that stuff, but I probably knew about these timelines maybe for the last 3 years or something, but I really didn't know anything about it.
But that's the stuff. My question is, if you remember, was you ever in DevGru in SEAL 6 or not?
The SEAL team was there. I had people ask me if I was in the Navy SEALs when I was there, because I was stationed at North Island. Okay, right there is where they train the Navy SEALs with buds.
Okay.
and they do that, carrying the the telephone poles down the beach and stuff and in the water. But that was right there, right near there. But I had people ask me that. I've had people ask me that, but I don't know why. If that's a different reality or whatever, I mean.
Yeah, because I definitely get you from DevGrew. Oh, aka, I mean, specifically not from DevGrew only, but from Seal 6. Oh my God. I mean, where in the world? Do you know Specs Ops? I mean, why in the world? Jessica is here. General, what is his name? Jesus Christ. Alan Shepard. Do you know him? General Shepard.
He was one of the astronauts with NASA. Here's a.
Oh, was he? I recognize Shepard. Yeah, from the.
And that's my question. Why in the world you can?
Here's the link for him.
Yeah, but that's my question. That's my question. I mean, so they made good mind wipe on you, idiots.
Yeah, I think I've been mine. Sometimes I can't remember things really, just like the time thing. I knew it was Eastern time, and it's like somehow that got screwed up.
So do you suffer on epilepsy, migraines, or diabetes, or something like that?
No, I get blood tests. My blood checked all the time. I'm not diabetic. I mean, I'm up there where I'm pre-diabetic, but I kind of watch what I'm eating and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. And do you have your, I don't want to say time management, but I mean, if you, Jesus, what is this name? Aren't you suffering insomnia? Partially?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time sleeping. I'm tired all the time. I was telling Jessica that ever since 2019, 2020, and I don't know that I really ever slept really good. I mean, I never got 8 hours sleep. It just always broken up, kind of, I guess.
And that's the problem. So definitely, those are symptoms of or consequences, if we want to call it that way, of being mind wiped. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that some kind of connection when I was in the Navy down in San Diego? Because
you are saying it. Okay,
yeah,
sorry. Let's stop being funny. Let's stop being funny. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is very watching those kind of movies. I mean, like some people that do that kind of stuff or were in that kind of action, they don't like watching those kind of movies. And maybe that's the mind. But I watched 13 Hours. I thought that was really great.
Oh my God.
And that's just. Maybe that's why. Maybe I was doing something like that. I don't know, but it was back in those. So it would have been the timeline back in that time frame that I was in there, 89 to 93 or something.
80. Give me a second. 80. Do you know what? Actually, it can make it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Peter, why did you bring up Alan Shepard?
With all the respect to you, Jessica, this is military stuff. But let's say this guy is still alive in the first place, and he is kind of in charge of Black Ops and Specs Ops. Give me a second. His son, but he is not Alan with one L, double L, and
ALLAIN. That's different.
Yeah. It is French. How can I say it? Variant of it. What
so
I don't know why
French.
No. Give me a second. That's the question. I don't know why they are like that. Yeah.
Is the program based out of France? Because you said there was a lot of space programs over there.
Yeah, that's true. Because this is French variation of Alan. Yeah, you are right.
Interesting.
It is not interesting. It is problem.
All right. So then John is working with him on some level now?
No. Black Ops, Specs Ops, So we are working in the same team.
So you're saying that John, aka Jonathan, is under Alan, who's in France, over the Black Ops.
Give me a second. Not under him, just directly. He's up, okay? And we are we were in the same team. But we didn't so for, now we have 2023. We didn't so what? For 6 years or something like that? 2K17, 2K16, something like that? Oh my god, I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
That makes sense, because I see France a lot, and there's a lot of French stuff that comes up, and I have some French friends that they're always, there's a lot of activity around them all the time. So I don't know. Maybe it's connected to that, but it seems like it's a base of some sort, right? Like interdimensional base or of some sort. I don't know any other way to say it.
Yeah, you are right, yeah.
So I guess so apparently at some timeline I was in the SEAL Team 6 probably or something, and then I got
definitely. Give me a second, because technically we were in SEAL 6, then we were in Delta Force, you know. I mean, I at least believe that you was able to. Are you able to remember that? Please say me that you are, please.
Yeah, like I said, I
think
did a good job mind wiping me, you know, I think. But like I said, you know, there's a lot of those things that resonate with me when I'm watching those, you know, some of those movies like that, you know. And like I was telling Jessica, you know, I mean, I've always been really strong, you know, strength-wise. You know, when I was on the ship, I was working out with this individual, Nathan, which I don't know if that was another timeline or whatever, but this guy was like a running back. You know, he was like 220 pounds, big guy, same age as me. But anyways, to make a short story longer, no.
Okay.
So the guy, he was lifting like 340 pounds or something, and when we got back, I was benching 305, and I was 165 pounds. So I mean, as far as the weight to strength ratio, I think.
Give me a second. What in the world? Give me a second. What in the world? What? 300. 300 what? 40 or 50?
Yeah, I was 160, 165 when I was in the Navy, and
okay.
So that's when I was benching. I benched 305, you know, and he was benching 340, but I just felt like he was put there for a reason, so that, you know, I was chasing.
Okay. I understand that. Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
A different timeline or something, maybe. I don't know, but he seemed like a military. He could have been a military type person too, you know. I mean, as far as, you know, special forces maybe or something. He was just built that way, you know. He was a big guy. But I could never track him down. Like I was telling Jessica, I didn't look super hard, you know, because back then they didn't have Facebook. They didn't have all that stuff. So, you know, you would have had to have, like she said, you know, you would have had done some research on where he's at or something, newspaper art, you know, something like that, because he was into sports before he went in the Navy in Arizona. Okay. I could never locate him, and my brother, he's younger than me, and he's a little more savvy on the electronics and stuff. He's like, did this guy exist? Is what he told me. Did this guy even exist?
Okay.
That really made me kind of wonder, you know, was that and Jessica said maybe he was on another timeline. I went to his timeline or something. I don't know, but he was on the ship with me, you know, when we went on that detachment, when I went the first time to when I went to the Desert Storm the first time. Yeah, he was on the ship. He was on that detachment. And, yeah, we were pretty close. I mean, I guess we came pretty close, but that's, you know, he's a shipmate. It's like you know, one of your soldiers or something, you know, you get a bond there or whatever, because you're out there with them for 16 hours a day or whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you are right. It's some sort of let's call it brotherhood or so.
Say that
Do you
again.
know brotherhood? Do you know what I mean? Some sort of partnership and so on. Do you know what I mean?
It was kind of like that, and then he just kind of, it was like I was telling Jessica, he just kind of disappeared after that detachment. But then I went to that Leo Ops, which was for the drugs, you know.
Okay.
I got put in that detachment. So then, you know, he was back at the squadron, so we were doing different, we weren't working together. So it's kind of like, I don't know where he went, you know, and even when I came back, it was like we weren't in communication or anything. And I can remember I had a girlfriend and I was going to introduce him to him when I got back off the cruise, you know, and I went to his apartment and knocked on the door, and it was like there was nobody there, you know. It was just kind of a weird, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Strange, you know.
This isn't strange. This is absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
So
you know,
it was like he disappeared for good, right?
say again.
Like he disappeared for good. Like he, how can
Well,
I say it? Vanished without the trace, right?
Well, I don't remember seeing him after, you know, after we disbanded on that detachment from Desert Storm. But I remember he went with me over to the ship, and I don't know why we got picked, but I'm pretty sure he was with me, and I don't remember getting over there. But we went and got supplies when we were in the Desert Storm. You know, when I got there, it was Desert Shield, because Desert Storm didn't last very long, but we were heading over there. It takes us 6 weeks and on the ship. So what we did was...
it didn't last very long. You are right.
Yeah. But there was the oil wells were burning, and there was all that stuff in the air and all that stuff, you know. It was like dusk all day.
It was nasty, man. That was nasty. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe you were there. I didn't, you know, I don't know. Were you over there?
Yeah, but I was thinking like, how in the world this is not good, and I was like, nah, you didn't supposed to have the name John. Nah. And then once you start speaking, like, oh my God, Jonathan, because technically John and Jonathan is very, very. Do you know what I mean? It's similar, but I get it.
Wow. So that's just another. Is that like just another timeline in this time frame?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is that like at nighttime I'm doing something different or something? Or something
if
similar?
You want to call, give me a second. If you want to call it that way, then why in the world not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering, because, you know, it just seems like and get really tired sometimes. And I know when I talked to Jessica that last time, and I sent her that email about it, man, I felt like I was in a battle. I mean, my whole body was sore and everything. Like the next day, like maybe I got attacked or, you know, whatever, something happened, you know, but you know, I don't have any recollection of it, you know.
Yeah, it is pretty, let's say normal. It's common. Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's common.
Yeah, I mean, I go through that too. I wake up, not every day, but there are days when I wake up, I'm like, wow, what's going on? You know, why is everything hurt? You know that you've done something. Yeah.
I just felt like I was in a battle or something, you know, like I either got the shit kicked out of me or
or you're in a crash or some kind of like
bus or something, you know. I don't know, but it was definitely noticeable. Let's put it that way. Like I think it was the day after.
There's a lot of people that have memories like that of being connected to the DUMS and the battles down there. And Peter was involved in that directly with the Monarch and Umbrella.
Shit, I hate these operations. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but what they have done.
They have very well-trained, well-skilled, almost like army, something like that. Like they are paramilitary, but they are definitely not like that. They are, you know, like on professional level, like, oh my God, well organized, well skilled. They have plenty of weapons, you know, ammo, everything. It's organized. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, you'd have to know what's going on, because you're going into ancient caves sometimes as some of the tunneling system that pre-existed. you need to know what you're doing on top of the other tunneling that was done, manufactured by, humanity. But there's some of the early ones too, right, Peter? There's corners and dark places.
Exactly. You are right. Exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's pretty well thought out or whatever, I guess. Is that something that this
trained, skilled, high training?
Is that Alan Shepard kind of involved in that? Like running.
But Elaine Shepard.
Oh, Elaine. Yeah. Okay, not Alan. Elaine Shepard.
No, Elaine. Yeah. You are right, and that's very. How can I say it? It is tricky because we are pronouncing it the same, but just the writing is different, and it can be screwed. Do you know what I mean? So let's call it Alan and Elaine, maybe. I don't know, because it's so weird. But he is his son. Elaine is Alan's Shepard son. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Elaine is this Mr. Shepard's
son.
Daughter, son.
Yes, you are right. Yeah. You get it. You get it right. Absolutely.
So is that spelled like Elaine? Like that's not ALLAIN. That's the general, right?
Yeah.
That's the son. How do you spell the son's name?
That's my question. I mean, in French, because I lived many years in French-speaking countries. My wife is actually from Quebec, so it is Elaine. Okay. But technically, they hate if somebody speaking French in front of them with another people. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. They don't like it. Screw that. Okay, so this is it. I mean, so once you cannot recollect or make recollection, and of course once you suffer this insomnia, some sort of, at least, there are solid symptoms of mind wipe. Yeah, definitely mind wipe.
You can't get it back or anything like that. You can go under.
Sorry, what?
Can you get it? Can you get the memory back? Under hypnosis or something, or?
Give me a second. This is not my. How can I say it? This is not my field of expertise. Oh my God! I don't know. No, this is not my field of expertise.
It is possible. It's possible. It depends on, Peter. When I did regressions, because I know they wiped me, but when I did regressions, you remember some things very easily, and then the parts where they really wiped you, you get pieces of it. Like fractures of it, because of maybe they didn't wipe it completely, so you have little memory of seeing something really weird, but then it goes dark, it goes black, and then you go to another, and then at some other point another piece of it shows up. So working with people over the years, the people that are heavily wiped, they get fragments of it, but then there's other points where you can see something that might have happened, and it's crazy how many different things. Oh, because then it's Akashic too. Your past life stuff shows up.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be very, very nasty. I mean, it's some sort of truth you don't even want to remember. It's like in Matrix movie. This is the truth, when Neo asked Morpheus, and he said, "I never said it will be easy, Neo. I said it will be the truth." What I mean, it's exactly the same shit. My.
Maybe it's better not to remember, that's what I was thinking too, Jessica and that too.
It's okay. It doesn't, at this point, it's safe. I mean, I think some of the stuff has already happened, it's done, and some of those ones that were doing these things, some of them are not even here anymore. So I think it's safe to look at it now.
And then Jessica was also mentioning the gin, like when I was over there in Desert Storm, because it just seems like a lot of things, like this dark cloud's always following me around. Things don't always go smoothly for sure.
Give me a second, Jessica. Can you? Sorry for interrupting you, sir. But what does it mean? Like those, what they are? Gins. Jessica, just say me, because those are crazy. I mean, I don't trust them at all. No, I don't.
I trust them, but they sort of pop in and out of realities. They're very fluid. Okay. Like they can be here, they can go into the astral, they can go into different dimensions, they can go into different timelines. They're some kind of early, very, very old beings. Okay. And they almost like they can have a smoke look about them or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But they're mischievous. They remind me of, like, there's a variation. There's a bunch of mischievous creatures that like to play with people, with humans. So like fairies, the whole thing with fairies and all that.
No. Don't tell me about fairies, please. No stories about fairies.
But they'll do little things, I'll see them like.
Give me a second. One tip for you, sir. If you will piss off fairies, and I will not watch my language, because you can piss them off really, very, really badly.
Yeah.
Without knowing it, not on purpose. Okay, you need to have small pocket full of rice, and I will say you why. Because a small pouch full of rice, because fairies need to count. So if you will make them wipe them out of their comfort zone, give me a second, without an intention. So I didn't do anything bad, but for them it is bad, You just throw out all the rice, on the table, and they are like, and they start count the rice. Don't ask me why it is like that, but it is like that. So crazy.
But, well, the jinn are different. They're sort of like, I've seen them around Shiva, like kind of like maybe they're like from way back, very, very back in history, and they kind of will go around and they'll do something. They're very intelligent, but they also like will mask something, they'll hide, they'll play games a bit. They'll check.
Okay, thank you very much. A bit. Okay, thank you. Great.
And if you get them really angry, they'll hurt you. They will hurt you physically.
But a second, I never want to make them angry, and sometimes they can be very angry. Oh my God.
Yeah. They're territorial too. Yeah. They're probably in the Middle East, they're probably more active.
How can I say that? It is pretty much like, how can I say it? Like, why in the world are you on my backyard? Something like that.
That's why I think a lot of Americans had a hard time going over into some of these Middle Eastern countries. I'm positive the jinn didn't like it. And also they have those giants out there too. The giants in the deep underground caves. And they're
the Nephilim or the.
Yeah. And they could be bastards too. I'll tell you that I've had interactions with them. Oh yeah. And they're strong energetically.
The jinns or the big.
The giants have a whole different thing. They feel like they own the planet.
And that's my question. Why? That's my question. Why?
They feel they were here before us. Honestly, I agree with you. I don't understand why they think that, but they will fight you on it. They will say, this is ours. Get out of our way. They'll say something like that. Whereas the jinn won't do that. The jinn will just kind of mess with you. They'll smile. They'll look at you, and they're mischievous, and they get into your head, and then they'll have little things, crazy things happening around you. Whereas the giants are more like they're almost like we're in charge here. You need to listen to what we're
Why
saying.
the heck you are here? Just get the heck out of here. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Sounds like those. That's where they find the big bones all around the world, isn't that the Anunnaki or the Nephilim? Isn't it? They're like
The
not,
Nephilim, yeah.
not Anunnakis and Nephilims. It's you know, and we just made a show yesterday that Anunnakis aren't in existence for approximately 6 million of years. They are good. They split it to good, also called Anunnakis, aka Elohims, and bad Anunnakis, aka Nephilims. But they are not Anunnakis. Okay, that's big difference.
Okay. Just from what I watched or whatever, I've seen different things. They find these like the army, well, I don't know, special forces over there in Afghanistan. One of them came out of a cave and they killed it. I seen some documentation on that where they put it in a C-130, but they
sorry for interrupting you, sir. Believe me.
Oh, that's fine.
It is fake. It is fake. Because
Okay.
if they will encounter something like that, I mean, somebody, because they are very intelligent beings, Elohims or Nephilims.
Okay.
Normal
Yeah.
people,
Sense.
even with help of our latest, most modern technologies, are absolutely, let's say, useless, helpless. It is absolutely no, let's say it is no possibility to kill it or to capture it. Oh my God, it's so stupid bullshit. No, don't believe that, sir. It's bullshit. No.
That's why I was going to ask you, you know, not trying to interrupt you, but that's why there was like pictures of this thing. They're loading it on a C-130, you know, and taking it out of there. Red long hair, you know, the thing's huge.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so
They will not let themselves to get captured. Nah, and definitely not killed. Oh my God, no.
So who is that then? But they had a picture of a giant like that with red hair.
Give me a second. Do you know what is fake stuff? I mean, I don't want to say it is fake, but definitely not Anunnakis or Nephilims or whatsoever, Elohims.
There's some other giants too. There were some other giants here besides the Nephilims.
There's Bigfoot.
Another race.
Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, they are.
Bigfoot, but there was another race of giants too. I know from some other, I don't know if they were Tiamat or something like that.
But give me a second. That's the problem, that there are plenty of them, and they are like something like they were like star seeds here, and they believe, and that's the main part of the problem, because they believe this is their original planet. What of course it is not. Oh my God. It's frustrating.
You know what? When you have a problem with the jinn is if you took something from that area, or because I think they were military was destroying temples, taking artifacts. That's really good way to get everyone pissed off. Yeah. You think you're getting away with it and you're taking it and you bring it to another location, but there's consequences.
It can cause even more problems, just by the way.
Well, just like you talked about those ships, so that mothership being taken by Monarch. Monarch's going to have to answer to where the ships came from, right? They're going to have to, there's going to be a lot of negativity that goes along with that taking, you know?
Oh,
so you don't.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. It triggers, it sets an alarm off, and those things will come through time and space and show up.
Yo. Bad stuff.
Yeah, we know how that works.
It is like bad news bears. I got that. Oh my God.
So even say
Well,
say you were on that ship, right, that was dealing with drugs, it's very likely they had artifacts and things that they were not supposed to be taking as well, is why, some other, problems with, the ship having water on it and, potentially having some kind of incident. That would do it too. It's like, you see it in these shows where, they go look at the mummy and then all of a sudden there's a curse and people start dying. And
it is not curse. It is pretty much like, that's my question. Are those people like that stupid or that ignorant? They don't know it? What the heck?
They're greedy. They want the power, But even the Nazis did that all over the world. They were picking up artifacts everywhere, but they also had a lot of negativity that came up along with it.
Oh.
Right? The Third Reich in particular.
Oh yeah, you are right. But give me a second. The most case, why they didn't succeed, at least in our reality, that they turned 45, swastika in 45 degrees. Oh yeah, great. But they turned it in wrong direction, idiots.
Exactly. They did a retrograde with it. Yeah. And that was a Shiva symbol, so you don't mess around Shiva.
You can, but there will be consequences.
There will be consequences, trust me. He keeps an eye on it. Yeah. I think the point that John was making is that he was told that he was a galactic warrior. Can you verify that?
No. It wasn't he was told. It is true, okay? It is true. It isn't he was told. And I will say you why. How many siblings do you have?
I had an older brother that passed away at 54, so that would have been 5 years ago or something. I'm 55 now. He's 3 years older he was 3 years older than me, so that's one. And then I have 2 younger brothers, and one of them, the youngest was he took second in Taekwondo in the state of Idaho at like 19 years old, and
what?
Yeah, that's what he told me, and I believe it to be true. He's told other people the same thing. He picked up the martial arts in high school and just studied on his own, and then went to one of these things, and these meets in Idaho, and some guy from Nevada or something beat him, but that's because he got disqualified because the guy.
Okay. Long story short, there is one thing. Because you've been trapped. Give me a second. You are 55 right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's the stuff. Because you, that's my question. If you can remember that, how you was trapped in this crazy facility of Mobius. It is absolutely crazy.
Of trapped in a building of what now?
No. It looks like sterile building, like some sort of hospital, but for you, not you in particular, but for little children. It was some sort of playroom and so on. So it looks almost ideal, but then they took you, not only you, but many children like you, into this kind of trip room. They call it trip room, but especially trip chair. And this kind of what they are. Jeez. Oh, this. Give me a second. What?
Waterboarding?
No. I'm in. What?
I just sent some. So it's Mobius, but it's a nefarious group that used you for time travel. So they had you on a trip chair.
Yeah, on the trip chair.
Okay, like a time travel chair.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much like that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, but it's kind of weird. When I was a kid, I remember, you know, preschool, whatever. There was a Catholic church that, I guess, kind of like a church, not a church, might have been something like a church, but I remember it was just up like this. That's how the whole thing was, a weird shape, kind of A. It was right across from where my father worked, and so I would go there, and he would. That was like almost like a daycare thing, but there was nuns there. I remember that, and I hated that place. And so, you know, eventually he just took me out of there. You know, I just didn't have to go there anymore. And I was just wondering if that was some kind of programming thing, you know, where they did stuff or whatever. Because I would have been really young then. I would have been like 4 years old, you know, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It could be a place like that. Yeah.
It was just, I always got, I never liked that place, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get a feeling that something's not right, and then sometimes you have missing time or you have weird dreams. And you say there's something wrong with this place, but it's usually they target children. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, you know, as then get started there or whatever. But then I did tell Jessica about, you know, the alien, you know, interaction when I was probably 6,
Yeah,
8.
because technically you had this kind of crown, if we want to call it that way, and there were needles, you know, to your do you know what I mean, Jessica? This kind of
Like
part
MK
of
Ultra, they had eyes open like that.
Yeah, but give me a second. You know, this kind of operations when the you are crying and those kind of needle stuff, and then to your ears and to your mouth. You do know what I mean? This kind of brain operations, brain surgeries. Jeez, what is this name for their surgeries?
Implants or certain
Jeez.
Like they all opened up the brain, Peter, and they had the brain
No,
exposed.
no. I mean just the needles. Do you know what that means?
Lobotomy, like when
Lobotomy. Yeah. Thank you. Lobotomy. Yeah. Lobotomy. But this is it. Not opening, but making it in some sort of very crazy, remote ways. So only via nostrils and so on, very tiny needles and so on. It was absolutely crazy. Oh man.
Kind of like what they were doing for testing for, they'd stick. I mean, that's a lobotomy. There was
Pretty
really
much.
absolutely no reason for them to do that. All they had to do is just do like a mouth swab. That's all they had to do. They didn't need to do. They did lobotomies on millions of people.
But give me a second, Jessica. You are right. And so many people were bleeding from noses and so on. Oh my God. Yeah. We've got your stuff here. Ho. And it is plenty. Man, oh man, it is plenty of them. Nah. This is not your original. How can I say it? This is not your original birth. So you are definitely not from this context of existence.
Not from this country?
No, from not this context
Not
of
from
existence.
this reality. Somehow you ended up in
this
reality.
Is that what you're saying? This reality?
Yeah. You know what? Give me a second. You are from this reality where I am trapped in. Jesus Christ.
Maybe that's what Peter, you know, for the longest time I wanted to connect you with John, but it's really weird. It's almost like, you know, because there was these other people too, same thing. Only now, so you must have opened something up, because only now are we able to make the connection. It seems really odd, but it just like, it felt like a wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like
crazy.
pretty much something happened and it never worked, and now it started to work. Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. And you was kidnapped. You even didn't reach your third birth, so you wasn't 3 years old. First time you was kidnapped, and you ended up being very small. You know what? Give me a second. 2 years and 3 months, pretty much. It was for first time, and they said that you was a witness. It was absolutely fucked up. Sorry for language, but how in the world somebody can say, sorry, somebody, aka police, that you was a witness? Do you know what I mean? Small child, it is this is ridiculous. It is
A
here
witness
in
to
the
what?
Kidnapped? What do you mean kidnapped? By
give
who?
me a second, because it looked like he is a witness, right? And it is like, how in the world 2 years old children, 27 months old children can say something relevant? And that is here in the report, that local police go to your mother and they said that. It is fucked up.
So,
And she looked at them. She looked at them like, he is not. And technically, okay, so you can fluently speak. Okay, you can fluently speak, and you don't understand what happened on the sky. Oh man. On the sky, yeah. And that's my question. Why in the world normal police, civilian police, is have an interest to make some deal what happened in the sky? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, what do you mean, Peter? What do you mean made a deal with what happened in the sky? Like they saw a spaceship or?
UFO or whatsoever, and this report, it's like Skype, and it's period, nothing, right? And then your mother strongly hesitated to give them to you, and to give you to them, and it's like, do you know, madam, you don't want to make any problems with this investigation. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Oh.
And this is pretty much the first time you ended up in Mobius facility, just by the way. So it was
missing for a while or something. I mean, is that
yeah, exactly for almost 4 months. Yeah, in 1970. Yep. It doesn't make sense. Jesus Christ. I mean, it makes sense for me, but it is so stupid. Because if it was military, you know. Oh my god. Whoa. And in next report, what? You just appeared. You appeared one morning in the backyard.
when was that?
In the same year, exactly 4 months after that.
4 months after that. Wow.
And you eat ice cream.
Where I lived.
You ate ice cream. And you played with the dog. Oh, no, I don't believe that. Sorry for that. No, I don't believe that. You played with Belgian Malinois, aka Belgian Shepard. No, this is way too... No, I don't believe on coincidences. Shepard, no. You ate ice cream and you played with Belgian Malinois, aka it is French name for Belgian Shepherd.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I don't remember
Oh my
having
god.
anything like that, but I remember the place we lived at when I was that age. Because I remember I got flogged by a rooster I remember that. I was like 2 years old. And this rooster.
Yeah, and give me a second. And at that time, rooster punch you in your back. Sorry for that.
In the back?
And in your back.
See, I remember that. See, yeah.
And your doctor, I mean family doctor, said you need to be immediately taken care of. It is here. And it leads, every single way leads to Rome. And you ended up there in this crazy ass facility. And they got you first implant. You was just 2 years and 4, give me a second. You was 28 months old. It is fucked up, jeez.
That's the Mobius facility. I'm gonna give you a link, John, so you can read up on Mobius.
Okay, I remember seeing something off of your ACIO side or something. Wasn't it on there? I don't think
it's
I read
on there. So if you want to look there, that's where you'll find it.
And it's my question. Did you ever heard about, but not from our source, but can you remember being in Wall Rider?
Oh, geez. In Wall Rider too?
It is so weird because Wall Rider, it looks like a shadow man. Like those shadow beings, like they are, how can I say it? They are like Slendermans, but they are only shadows. Pretty much like, how can I say it? Shadow without any solid man or woman or something like that, but it is shadow, man-ish kind of shadow. And they are very, very tall. And they are muscular and pretty much something like that. And you are there. I can see this video footage. You are there.
I can share.
But give me a second. I'm saying you are seeing this. You are there. Give me a second. And you are way too curious. And you are like, oh wow. You are like, why you are so afraid? You are talking to those another children approximately at your age, like 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 are the oldest ones. Sorry for that. The evil within. Yeah. The evil within. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is next level shit, believe me. It is. Yeah, it is. And
this is a video game that's like reality.
This is a corporation. This is a Mobius corporation.
Okay.
And you was curious, like, okay, but why you are so afraid? This nice guy don't want to hurt us. I mean, you was curious. You was very curious at that time. And those children, they were so afraid. They were shaken, being afraid. And you was curious. You was curious. So, okay. So that's the reason why you was chosen one. Okay. Because you wasn't afraid. You was curious. You was brave. Even at that time.
Well, my father always said that I was never afraid. I had no fear. He used to tell me that when I was a small kid. But did they know that I was missing for that amount of time? When I was young.
Give me a second. They can give an alter. So he looks exactly like you. Behaves like you whatsoever. It wasn't the problem even in the edge of 60s and 70s. They've got crazy ass technology even at that time, believe me. It was crazy. It was Cold War. It was Cold War, man. The time how can I say, the period, the era was different. You know, the race for technology, US against USSR, you know, West versus East, you know, it was crazy. Oh my God. And the Wall Rider pretty much is or was like, what? They want to have, what, how we can call it, the mind of unbreakable soldier. That means like soldier, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He, if he is capable of being in fight, you know, but if he simple, you know, surrender, like, now I don't want to do this anymore, he lose. Okay. And the Wall Rider project was about to make state of mind for soldiers to never surrender, like never. Do you know what I mean? Like never, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever heard about the Russian sleeping experiment?
The Russian, say again?
Sleeping experiment. It was
Sleeping.
a sleeping experiment.
I thought it'd be a good idea to take a little break right here, because I know many of you that when they heard the Russian sleep experiment probably went and checked on it to see the legitimacy of it. And there are occasions that Peter talks about certain things that people may question, and which is extremely valid. And I know that Snopes and many of these other groups, you know, kind of maybe over-exaggerated things or try to nullify, you know, so nobody's looking into it or seeing it as a legitimate situation. Of course, you know, try going without sleep for any extended period of time, and you start to get into some kind of delusions, and then add drugs to it. I believe that there was drugs involved. So I'm going to just share screen, because this is all you're going to find. You're not going to find anything that validates something that sounds like it's legitimate, you know. So it's saying they used a gas-based stimulant. So they don't really say what this is, and the environment and how they were sitting there and whatever they experienced. But it does sound like it was like, oh, this is horrifying. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, but no, it's all fake. And so you have this other site right here about how the Russian sleep experiment became a global phenomenon. And then they go on about, they tell the storyline. There's these pictures. I guess some of this information was leaked. And then they're like, oh, what the hell did I just read? And then they're like, the creepy picture of the chamber above, an artistic illustration digitally altered by a random internet browser. Sorry. The Russian sleep experiment is an internet legend of which the oldest version can be traced back to creepypasta in August 10th of 2010. The user who posted it was Orange Soda, but the author's real name is unknown. Right. So people went in, and I guess this is supposed to be a Halloween outfit that they threw in there. So this is one way that they can prevent disclosure on something or to hide bad behaviors, is to kind of make a mockery of it, over exaggerate it. Someone else, or they have, you know, someone maybe for the government or a corporation or something going in and exaggerating some of the pictures if the real ones come out. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to rewrite history or do anything like that, but if I do believe they've had multiple types of experiments, and I know that, and I have seen them. I've seen different experiments through whether it's recall or, and they were a heck of a lot worse than some of this stuff, believe it or not. Or, you know, like what people have seen in the dumbs and so forth. So this is really not that far-fetched. Whether it's exactly as this story went, that's a whole other situation. But did something like that happen? Apparently it did, according to the ACIO. But you will not find any validation anywhere written. It seems like this is something they definitely wanted to sweep under the carpet, so to speak. So that's it. Back to the information between Navy John and Peter.
It was periodically, how can I say it, repetitive. It started in 1941 when Operation Barbarossa started, during Second World War. Then Stalin was after Second World War in I don't want to fool you, either 1950 or 1951. It was great time for Soviets because 1949 was their first atomic bomb test. And I don't want to fool you if it was either 1 year after that, so 1950, or 2 years after that, they make repetition of the same experiment and so on and so on. And there was no need to sleep, no, how can I say it, like in whatsoever torture. If Western countries will capture them, I mean the soldiers, the KGB agents, blah blah blah, whatsoever torture, they will not get information out of them. They are calling it sleeping experiment, but it was crazy complicated. And then they repeated the same shit in 1960, 61, just few years before, Caribbean crisis, because they really want to make I'm crazy, Third World War. If they will not kill Stalin in 53, it will be Third World War, believe me, because he was crazy, he was full, much crazier than Hitler, believe me. And then in 61, 62, something like that, it will be the same shitty case, because Khrushchev was crazy too, just by the way. And technically, he was de-aged and re-aged plenty of times. Just by the way, 68, forget 68, it is not your original date of birth, pretty much, just by the way. But long story short, being here in our actual or your actual timeline, so all the time in 3 or 4 years period, you was captured, in this same facility, and pretty much you was making, they made lobotomy on you, they gave you another implants and so on, and nanotechnology, that means extend -9. It was in 80s, and then, my bad, 70s and 80s, yeah. And then they make PICO, that means extend -12 technology. It was in 90s, I think, yeah, something like that. And that's the problem. You should have, I only hope that you don't have, because if you will remember this shit they made on you, it will be tremendous, crazy trauma for you. So that's maybe question. Yes, you deserve your memory back. Lovely childhood, having friends, and so on. I will be happy too if I will be on your place. But if you will go, like, how can I say it, the mind wipe, you can remember this shit. And believe me, you don't want to do so. You don't want. It was torture. It was torture. I mean, it is, how can I say it? If you do it if you want, but it is at your own risk. I am not threatening you. I'm just, how can I say it? I'm just saying how it will be, because if you will remember that, like, that will be deep shit, believe me. But if you are for that, why the heck not?
I just
So,
wonder
sorry,
what I
go
was
ahead.
involved in. You know, I mean, who's what am I doing with Mobus? I mean, what are they? Is it time travel? I mean, I'm a warrior or something. I mean, what are they sending me into time, doing missions? And
Yes, give me a second, because quotes, Mobius prepared them, or pre-prepared them, that's the stuff. Mobius prepared you for Monarch, and Monarch make another shit on you, and that's the problem. I mean, Jessica can make even more in-depth clarification, because we can talk for hours and hours about your records, but this is the main part of the problem. I know you deserve your memories back. Of course, I will be the same case. I will have, well, what the heck? I just want to have my memories back. But this is this big risk. And just by the way, you will literally feel the pain and all of this shit in one moment, and you can die. Because it will be. Do you know what I mean? That's my question. Did you ever encounter near death experience?
Depends on what you mean. I was in a bad accident, single car accident that I should have never walked out of, and the car was just like all mashed up. Somebody pulled me out of the window, the passenger window, but I would consider that about the closest, near death. And I wasn't even, the airbags all blew, and I was just sore for a week or two.
Because this is it. Like, it will be that kind of bad. I mean, the pain. You can die. It will be like the certain level of amount of pain. I mean, I'm just saying, it is at your own risk. Okay. I am not threatening you. I am just saying you need to consider all of the possible consequences. You need to consider everything.
That's why when you asked to do a regression, I wanted to wait until we talked to Peter first, just so I knew that you were involved in a lot of things. There's another guy that does, we talked to this other guy that does regressions, and I don't think he fully understands what he's doing. You don't force through things, because it can be really hard and it can fracture a person, which is contrary to the purpose of doing a regression. You're not there to fracture anybody, right? So now that we understand, so that if you were to do a regression and you do encounter some of these memories, you'll have an idea why it's coming up, instead of being really freaked out or anything like that.
From my point of view, if I will be in your, because we can talk about that, but even talking about that for you, it will be crazy ass stuff. And if you will feel it in very short period of time, what the heck? I don't know which kind of.
I can help people. I can help people.
I don't know how low, respectively high, is your level of pain tolerance. I don't know.
It's not that. In a regression, I can help people to become the observer and not to experience the pain. I know how to do that in a regression.
Do you know what, Jessica? Then why the heck not? Because you definitely deserves to get your memories, but this, you don't want to have these memories, like, how can I say, to encounter them like first person. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you have a random person that doesn't know what they're doing, do the regression, that's why so many people are doing regressions right now, and they're so angry afterwards. But I think it's because the people don't know how to properly deal with it, and there's no reason for you to re-experience pain and trauma. There's no reason.
Okay.
You've already been through it. No reason for it.
But give me a second. Do you know? I'm just saying one thing, and Jessica has totally different, let's say, field of expertise. So I'm just saying, because look, in every single time, 3 years, so 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, 12 years, and so on. And then from time to time, give me a second. Okay, so once you was 6, you get enough implants, I'm crazy, that they were able to control you remotely. Oh my God, this sounds terrifying.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to remember that stuff. I don't know. I always thought I had implants. I was always rubbing my nose here. My mother always said, you got.
Yeah. This is typical place for having an implants. Yeah, in nose. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The inner parts of the wrists. Yeah, in ankles, and in second chakra. So in penis or near penis or near vagina. Near heart, of course, and of course in brain, and as you said, in near nose or something like that. Yeah.
Here somewhere, I don't know. It stopped itching.
Yeah, something like that. And just by the way, heart, because it is, how can I say it, like it is the basic part of our, do you know what I mean, of our body, and the, how can I say it, male and female part of, do you know what I mean, it is controlling us, like it or not, but it is controlling us, so they know how to control us very well. Very, very well.
And that's
oh my God.
These corporations, this Monarch, whatever, and this
Mobius.
So who's running these things? Is that like extraterrestrials, or who's running those things?
Yeah. Extraterrestrials. It is. Yeah. Very bad.
But there are
groups.
hybrids too. Hybrids. Some of them are human hybrids. Yeah.
Give me a second. They are not hybrids. They are shapeshifters, aka they have nothing in common via looks. I mean, they never ever looks like a humans. Definitely not. Why they are in their own quotes in quotes natural forms. But shapeshifters, that means they look that kind of perfect human. You will be never able to say a difference between them and us. They looks like humans. Do you know what I mean?
So that I talked to Jessica about that, about when I had that experience with that. My brother, this was when I was out of the military. I was still pretty young. We were smoking in he had a garage. So we were drinking and go out there to smoke cigarettes. And so we're out there, and all of a sudden he changed and his eyes got dark. And he started walking around clockwise looking at me, and he says, "You know who I am, John," or what is it? We know who you are, or something. And I go, "What is your name?" I just kept facing him because it wasn't my brother. It was black. His eyes were black. And he said, "My name's Gabriel." And I said, "You ain't no fucking Gabriel." I was thinking Gabriel the angel, So I just
and he's Gabriel Kruger. Oh my God.
That's what she was thinking, but I don't know.
No. It wasn't what she was thinking. It's true. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I haven't done the research on the Gabriel Kruger, but he's over another corporation thing or something from early.
It's a good corporation, yeah. It's a good one.
Which one?
It's a good corporation, but once you are newbie or let's say rookie in this field, in this like alternative stuff, you can get easily scared, very easily scared, even by benevolent corporations, because once you never encountered something like that, you are like,
that's paranormal. It's unusual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have any fear. I thought it was an evil entity, that was trying to come across as Gabriel the angel, is what I thought. That was my mindset at that time, of course.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't think anything of Gabriel Kruger, because it's my brother with his eyes that are black, and telling me this.
What exactly did he say to you? Tell Peter exactly what he said to you so he can understand what he was trying to do.
Well, he's just like, we know who you are, or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I remember, what I recall. I think that's what I told you, Jessica, wasn't it? And then he just started walking around, and then I said, who are you? And he said, Gabriel.
Because it definitely wasn't your brother. I got you.
He didn't remember it when we came in, because I left. I went in the house because the thing walked around me, Gabriel, whatever, walked around me, and I faced him all the way around. He did like a complete circle, and he said he was Gabriel, and I said, you're not fucking Gabriel, like that. And then I went in the house. And then my brother came in about a minute later, and he didn't recall anything. It's like it's not even him,
So then you're sitting there looking at him, right? Or wondering what in the world just happened.
Yeah, it was just, just weird things like that has happened, There's been other things too, where my brother was like possessed one time at my older brother that passed away's house. We were all there, all my other three brothers. And my younger brother, the one that took second in Taekwondo, this guy that I was talking about, I was out in the garage with. And so all of a sudden he has convulsions on the ground. The first thing I'm thinking of is, it's a demon or something, So I put my hand on his head, and I'm like, by the power of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave this body or something like that, And he stopped shaking, and he was like back to normal. But just a weird thing. There was like two of us holding him down, it was like super strength. It's kind of weird. Just one other weird thing that happened.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Man.
Yeah, there's the seizures that we talked about in the beginning of the conversation. is how the implants or the program sometimes creates seizures, right, Peter?
Definitely. That's true.
Planet as well, like we were talking, it's kind of like genetically, like it started in the military with my great uncle that raised my father, and none of them went in the military, and he had a son, and then he had the rest of them were daughters. But he lived way out in the country, and this guy was in the World War II in the Navy, and he wrote a book about Land of the Rising Sun or something like that, but it wasn't a book published. It was just a book for the family to read.
Oh, okay.
And there was something about that book that the black suits, my cousin said, the black suits came out there, talked to him.
Oh, no, that's bad. Once they came out, it's always bad. Bad news bears.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but the other, his son, which I guess is my cousin, however that works, but he raised my father as a workhorse out on the farm, and so he ended up, my father was the only child in his family, but his mother died when he was 12 years old, so he got shipped out there, right, to the family. The relatives. So, anyways, I don't know when this all happened, but my cousins, they all lived, like next to each other on that road. So they knew what happened or whatever. And he was a very quiet person. This Thurl Bivens was his name. But he was, his friends from World War II off the ship is what I was told. they would go up into the mountains, and this is when there wasn't roads, paved roads up in there, way up in the mountains, and they would hunt elk, and then they would pack them out with mules. But it was just kind of weird what they might have talked about. Maybe they had maybe he was involved in something, or that's why the black.
Oh, okay.
No, that's what Jessica and I talked about that. So that's possible. It started.
Maybe.
My other grandpa on my mom's side, okay, he was in the army in World War II, and he has a German name. But he was like the second generation or something from Germany. He was in the American army, but he was German. Of German descent. From that lineage, whatever you want to call it, his family. My older brother was really into this researching and the truth movement way before me, and that's how I got into some of this stuff that he was telling me about. But he did a bunch of research on it, and they were doing he was talking child sacrifices and different things like that in that town. And this is like a small town of back then, where my mother was born. It must have been less than 1,000 people maybe living in that town. But there was, they had an encounter with a witch that spun off, to where, they had some kind of interaction with stuff, like that. I talked to Jessica about it, but that's going off track here. But they're just, this whole thing, kind of makes sense why I'm here, or whatever, because they had some kind of interaction, I think, with some of these people. I don't know, military, or my mother had some strange family members, that, just they put in insane asylums, for stupid reasons back then, but.
And that's my question. Why in the world was like that? What do you think? Huh? I mean, that they just take people to insane asylums for pretty much no
psychic
obvious
or
reason.
Vision or some
Because they're
similar
just different, I think.
different,
And,
yeah.
They
Witch
don't
trials, it's kind of that witch trial kind of mentality.
Yeah, and he was the one I told Jessica about. He was and he was my grandma, my mother's mother, my grandmother's brother. And he was, this is the story I got, there could have been some more to it, but he was living in Oregon on the coast, and he decided he was going to swim across the bay. So that was crazy enough to put him in the insane asylum. It's just,
oh my God.
There had to have been some other things.
That's extreme, yeah.
There had to have been some other things going on, but that's.
There's also, there's things like that too, just like in the witch trials, that they would focus on people that had maybe a nice location, property or land, and then they would pull them out, throw them in the asylum so that nobody can pay the bills, and then they take over the property. I mean, it was kind of a land grab maneuver. I don't know if anything like that happened, but I've seen that historically happen, like when they did the Puritans and the witch trials. A lot of that, they took their lands. So it was obvious that was part of the agenda, and it, I think it still happens today. That's how they get things.
I guess I got some pretty crazy stuff going. And it's funny because, a year ago, I never thought that anything was that strange about my life. I thought that was fairly normal. And then I started talking to, Jessica and that, and then she wanted to have an interview, and I didn't think it was that, interesting. And then now I'm looking at this, and it's like, wow, I must have been an experiment. I must have been like a rat in a cage being experimented on.
Yeah,
you are right. It makes sense on the, I tell you, sometimes I come unhinged, you know what I mean? And people get out of the way, they think I'm going to kill somebody. Because, I got into it with my two brothers one time, and, like I said, the 1 second in Taekwondo, and I just kind of subdued both of them, in the kitchen. They just kind of backed off, and I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, just kind of went into some kind of frenzy, kind of whatever, something triggered, I guess, or something, right?
Yeah, the super soldier mode. Yeah.
I get
believe it or not,
I even
I have it too.
Mode is crazy. Believe me, it is.
It is. It is. Like I have 3 older brothers. I never needed any help. You know, they wanted to say that they were the big shots and they were going to protect me. They were all football players. I never asked them for help. I always took care of it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's
I
enough.
believe you.
I got you. Yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna have to get around for work, but I enjoyed the speaking with you guys. I'd like to do it again. Sounds like there's this.
Yeah, definitely. Give me a second. We can make this sort of deal. If you want to make another call, and you are kind of good guy, you are very good, sir, right? So because we've got similar background and all kind of that stuff, I really like it. Just by the way, because you are not just kind of random guy. You are, man of the word, sir. Okay.
Oh yeah, I had a great conversation. I did with Jessica as well. I mean, I keep an open mind, and I try to absorb as much as I possibly can and share as much information that gets triggered or whatever, So I like talking with other military, people too. I always felt like I was always, even though I only did 4 years in the military, just people always think that did 20 years or something, just because, the way
Give me a second. Stop. I was up to say that. Like what? 20, 25? Give me a second. I was up to say that. 25. Give me a I was up to say that.
I don't even know it.
No, I was up to say that. Like, give me a second. And I didn't count it in my head. And I was like, okay, like 20, 25. And it was like, people are saying this. Yeah.
So I have a question before you guys leave. So would you say that John is with Kruger? He's not with Unit 374. He would be with Kruger then if Gabriel showed up on him.
Yes. Yeah, he's in Kruger. But give me a second. Actually, you are agent. You are not runner. That means you have permission to kill, just by the way.
Permission to what?
To kill.
To kill. Okay. Yeah.
Because once you are runner, that means you cannot kill. Pretty much, if you kill somebody, you are in very big trouble. You are in you don't wanna kill somebody once you are just runner. But Kruger agent, it's total different case.
So I am working for Gabriel Kruger.
No. It isn't what I was. You still are, okay? You still are.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
This is big difference. No, not like you. I was. You still are. Okay. That's it. Okay. There are plenty of stuff to talk about, but
we can do
next
that
time.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.